So what I'll do is, because the first 30 minutes we wanted to put pressure on the opponent, I'll select only the first 30 minutes. So now it's filtered all the events that happened in the game, but only in the first 30 minutes of the game. I now obviously select us because I'm going to look at Barry University and how we did against FAU. And as events, I'm looking for 1 duels. So that now shows me all the duels in the first 30 minutes and where they happened on the pitch. And if I hover over them, I can see, okay, this was an aerial, which is a header. I'm not interested in that because I wanted to win the ball on the floor and then counter into a transition moment for us. That one was a take on, meaning Kirkham in that moment attacked the player with the ball. That's an offensive situation. I don't want to look into that. There's another aerial. So pretty much in my situations here, I didn't really win a ball centrally in the first 30 minutes. So now I'm going to look into lost duels. Basically, if we have an opportunity to win the ball, and if we did, why didn't we win that ball? So I'm going to do the same thing. There's a couple of take-ons that I'm not interested in. There's an aerial. I'm not interested in an aerial. But here is when it becomes interesting. Now we have Kirkham in a tackle, which means he tackled for the ball. He challenged the ball. And apparently he didn't win it, but it wasn't an area that we identified before the game where we want to win the ball. So I'm going to click on that. Now it's going to show me only that situation where actually Kirkham is in that defensive duel here. I go big, and now I'm going to look at it. And I'll see, okay, he's after him. He fouls him. All right. Didn't really show me too much. So what I do again, I go back in time. I go 5 seconds back, and the ball is here now. So now I can see, okay, where's that ball coming from and how did we get in that situation? So I'll click on it, click on the ball. And what I can see immediately here, this is the situation that we were looking for. Ball to the fullback, comes back inside, create a majority around the ball, and then win it. But what you can saw in the clip, this player here coming from inside, overcommitting against that player, which now makes Kirkham to chase. So this is an ideal situation if I go back to work with this player here that's coming from this area. Okay, we get the ball where we want it, but he's expecting the pass, overcommitting, and he's losing the tackle because of that. So that's a definite show for me. So I'm going to save that clip as well. Again, to the FAU playlist, I'll save it, and I'm done with that. So now I found a clip that actually shows me why we had a problem in the beginning winning a ball, because we're overcommitting, we're anticipating balls that weren't really there, we're trying to cheat. So that's something I have to show to my player because that's an ideal situation. I could do that on the fly if I know what I'm looking for. And we can do the same thing with this graph. We can go to shots. So now I see all our shots, where they've been taken in the first 30, just to make it a little bit better. These are all our shots in the 90 minutes. I can do the same thing for FAU. Okay, where did they take their shots from? Okay, a couple foul ones. The ones that I'm probably interested in are going to be the ones in the box. So I can do the same thing. Either I click on all 13 clips and show me all here, or I go straight into that one and just see, okay, where did that happen? Look at it. And again, by now, I think you get the idea. I can either like it to watch it later, or I can analyze it right on the spot, decide if I want to like it for later, or I just put it in my playlist for now, and then I come back to it later. So that is how I can use this event explorer. And there's other things like misplaced passes. Okay, from which area, let's say us, in the first 30 minutes, where do we actually misplace the most passes? If it comes from here, I have a problem because that means my sixes are not really placing passes. If it's up here, I don't really have an issue with it because it's more risk involved. But we see there's a lot of misplaced passes in the center, and I definitely need to look at this, and I can again go in those clips, look at it, and see why we miss so many passes in our build-up play once we get to the mid third, which is obviously something I want to analyze as well. So that's how I use this tool for the most part.